Hey traders, Michael from Elite Traders University here. We are back on the pound dollar, and as we can see, last night we had quite a bit of volatility during the end of Europe into North America, and even after we had this extreme buying, you can see this extreme buying over here, it never went anywhere. And so what that's telling us is that there are larger powers at play that actually want to sell this currency down. And so we finished off last night with a big sell-off, and the movement we're seeing now is a putative movement, which is basically profit taking. So because of that, I am short. I'm short from the top, and I've just gone short again now. And so as we can see, short at the top, up 5 positions, up 5 pips, and just break even on this short just here. So when you can understand demand and supply, it really helps you. Look at this section here. We hit the R1, immediate sell-off. Now keep in mind that this is really intense buying. So someone is really putting a lot of money into this, and we can see that one candle alone is 40 pips. It moves up for 65 pips, but there's no momentum to take it forward. Okay, so this big move here is purely a FOMO retail trader driven move, but there's no real sustaining power or momentum behind it. And sure enough, it gets sold off, and as it collapses down, as it retraces from this high, all of these people who went long in this region here are taking out their profits, and then a lot of them get out at break even. And then once the market falls past the origination of this move, which is right here, look, you can see once it passes that point, it just collapses. Okay, so this is a corrective move, and we're looking at a move down from here. My first take profit is always at the swing low, which is there, and from a scalping perspective, that's a nice 8 pips. However, I am looking at the low of yesterday, 1.38. And be aware we have the 1.3800 level just below. So these are the first places where I'm going to take profit. It's a purely corrective move, so I think we see a sharp impulse down. However, we still are an hour and a half away from London Open, so there is a possibility of a quick move higher, and then probably a chance to get short again and move down. So that's either of those things is going to happen. Firstly, we'll move down straight from here in very quick succession, or we take this second movement, which is another push higher, and then we move lower. So that's what I'm looking at. I am currently short about 5, 6, 7 positions, and let's have a quick look at those. So there we are, 7 positions, 2 in profit, 5 at break even. Just moving down now, and let's come back when we start to take some profit off the table. Okay, so added to our position, and we're moving down really nicely. Let's put on our deal map, and let's start to take out some of this profit. Okay, so we've got quite a few pips up already. Alright, and we're going to keep 5 open for a larger move down. So what that allows us to do is get into a break-even position, and as you can see, our stops are now just above the high. We're going to move it down just above the high there. And so now we're in a break-even trade. Prices continuing to move down, and I now have an alarm at the bottom, and so if we come down to that level, I'll be taking out 3 more and leaving 2 open for a larger move. So we're now up good amount of pips on the last, another 25 pips on the last 5 positions, and we'll see what happens. So if I start to sense a turnaround, I will be happy to take out some more of these, but for now, if price does move up at the open, which is an hour, I'll look to get short again if I get the right setup. But from now, we are just going to wait and let price continue to tell us what it wants to do. Obviously, this is the first place it's going to pause. Like I said, the swing low, As you can see, it's paused right there and we have a bit of a bounce, but I do believe we can go lower from here, and so down to the low it's another 20 pips. So taking out 3 positions is an extra 60 pips for us. So let's come back a bit later and see what price does and analyze our next move. Okay, so I'm just going to take out another 30 pips, and I'm going to leave 2 more positions open for an extended move to the low. Price is now coming down to just above this swing high here, as you can see, just this little stall pattern. In fact, let's remove that so you can see. This is what's known as a stall pattern, and so what happens is price tries to push higher, and you get this interesting price action take place here, and we end up with a stall, and so that's where price drops off from. And something to add to that is that it's happened just below the moving average. So price moves up. Let's see if I can drag that in. It makes these 4 candles here and closes below it, and that's a sign that price is unable to move higher in the near term. And what actually happens if we remove our positions is that ultimately it ends up with a lower time frame head and shoulders. So it's not really head and shoulders, but price is respecting the same level it paused at on this side of the trade earlier in the day. We have a stall pattern at the moving average, telling us that price has not got the momentum to move higher, and as you can see, that is where I really loaded up my positions. So added a number of positions just in there. And price is moving low as we speak, so another 20 pips up already, and we now have our stop just above that high. So we can't lose. It's a win-win trade. Great 5-minute close, and we will come back later. Let's just quickly see how many pips we've made for the day. Alright, so over 110 pips in these positions, as you can see, and that has been, my first position was opened back here, and so we've been going for about 3 hours. Open those early, as you can see, very tight stop, and as we moved into profit, I added to my positions with confidence that this thing was going to keep moving. So let's come back later and see how the rest of this trade plays out for us. Okay, so we've had quite a strong push up, which I didn't expect, and so if we come up to our original entries, I will take out one of these positions at break even. So right now, and I'll leave the other one in. But if we look at a higher time frame, then it looks like we might be heading back to the highs before we head lower. We have 20 seconds till the 15-minute candle close, so this is actually quite bullish at the moment. So in that sense, if we get a push to tick lower, I'm going to take it. I'll take out this other one right now. Okay, so we're out, and there's our deal map. So scratch trade on the last 2. And sure enough, rejection straight from that level. So if we get a push higher, I will be looking at going short again. There's our deal map, and if we look at a 15-minute chart, then we could still push up higher, and that will give me another opportunity to get into a winning trade. However, we're up over 100 pips for the day, and we haven't hit London Open yet, so let's wait and see. We might get a push higher. In that case, I will be looking to short again around that key level I mentioned before, or even higher, and I will still be looking to go short, as I believe momentum is down for the day. So let's wait and see what happens, and we'll come back a bit later on. Okay, so there's that sharp push to the lows, and we went down after all, so that's okay. We're still up 110 pips on the day, and probably looking for some sort of reversal, intermediate reversal from probably somewhere around this level. So I'll be looking to get long on a scalp trade and take out a number of pips when I see some sort of confirmation. So definitely looking to add a reversal from about this level, just within this box, about a 10 pip range, 13 pip range. So looking for a rejection from here. Now let's look at the 1 minute chart. see what's going on. Not yet, nothing is happening there. We're still moving down right now. Let's just remove period separator. So we're coming down to these previous lows, as you can see, and it's all the one spot 3800 level, so very psychological level for a number of traders. So once we get a push into this yellow box, I'll definitely be looking for a buy at market with a nice stop to set me up initially. So I'm just going to wait for a further push down, and then I will actually look to go long. And from down this box, I'll be looking to ride it up for 10 to 15 pips, take out as many positions as I can, and then maybe hold one for longer if we end up going higher overall. So we are pushing up, rejecting the lows quite strongly, but we're still in a downtrend. I believe we will move into this box. So let's just wait for a few minutes, and we'll come back when we go long. Okay, we've got to push high, as you can see, and got a couple of entries here. So taking out those first two entries. Okay, and so we got a nice confirmation from a low, and as you can see, I still am up about three or four positions, up about +3 at the moment. So we didn't get that push down to the box. Now notice that this, again, these are my live deal maps. As you can see, this is the London Open. London opened right just before that green candle. Oops, it's the wrong one. We opened just in here. Okay, and immediately price was pushed high with a big green bar. Now typically that will tell us that we are going to push higher. So I'll be looking for a move up to at least a 200 moving average. I'll take out a few more positions and I'll leave one for higher up. So we currently are about 4 positions up. 4 positions long, stop just at the low, and looking to move up to the 200 moving average and then up to the high there. So I will come back shortly and see how this unfolds. Now if we actually just look, we go out to a 50-minute chart. Then if we close with this sort of candle structure within the next 4 or 5 minutes, then we should have definitely a nice push to the high in play, and from there we can start to take in a bit more profit. Now notice that we've got this rounding pattern at the bottom here as well. Okay, that's not very round, but that typically signifies a basing pattern. So I did expect a breakdown through these lows based on the higher time frames, but since we've rejected the low at the open of London, it indicates that we might be pushing higher near term. Okay, it might only be near term. Price might only come up like this, and then it might completely roll over. Okay, we don't know for certain. That's why we take out pips that the market gives us. Whatever the market gives you, take. And so that's why I'm not going to be looking to hold this trade for too long. Looking to get out 10 pips on each of my lots, and then we will actually lock in our last positions and let the trade unfold. So this is what we're looking at now, and we'll come back when we take out our next take profit. Okay, so we came down right into that box, and like I said, I got long at market. So I'm long again, entered long, as you can see, just on the bounce up, and I'll be looking to take out a +15 or so. So we're turning around very quickly. Let's go down to the 1 minute time frame, and let's have a look. So up 3.6, 2.6. Looking to the swing high, first swing high up there, which is about 17 pips away. That's my first target. So looking to get up into this region here, and then we'll start taking out profit. Okay, we pushed back down deep into that box, and those positions were stopped out. However, we are getting rejection still from that level, and I still believe the market structure is setting up for long. So I'm long again. Number of positions lower down, right at the bottom, as you can see, we're up 8 pips on each of those, and just entered another ton of positions. Now looking for a strong move up from here. Okay, so I am looking for a really nice push up from where we are now. I'm expecting at least 15 to 20 pips, and once we get a 30-minute close in about 15 minutes or so, as you can see, that 30-minute candle would look really nice, extremely bullish if we close something similar to that. So I'm long again, number of positions. It doesn't matter if it gets stopped out. If there is still a valid setup, then you can still trade it if you understand your risk management and if you understand your market structure. So like I say, we're pushing up really strongly now. We are up a number of positions. In fact, let's just have a look at our positions. Okay, so here we are now. Like I say, with a number of positions, I'm going to start to take some of those out. All right, and we have another another 9 remaining, and I'll be looking to take those out much higher up, sort of plus 15, plus 20, possibly even more depending on the 30-minute close. So there we go. Let's wait and see what happens next with the 30-minute candle. So we have a very nice bullish closing 30-minute candle, and that is definitely a great impetus for a push higher. I believe we go straight up from here and looking to take out profit soon. So very positive. And in fact, if we just look at a 1-hour chart, again, huge big wick there. So it's looking good for the next move up, and we can take out some more pips. Okay, so there's our huge push up. Just like I anticipated, we've taken out a number of pips at plus 15, plus 14, plus 13. And so we have 2 positions remaining. Let's have a look at those. They're currently up 15 pips each, and I'm actually taking the take profit to see this high region up here. Now I'm not sure if we will get there tonight. However, based on the higher time frame, it's possible that we do get there. So I'm bringing up my stops, as you can see, just to 8 pips each, so halving the initial size, and they're currently up 20 pips each now. Moving up very strongly now, so up 25 pips on each position, very strongly, and looking to touch the high. So it's possible that we actually do get up to this this zone tonight. But if you've gone through my analysis throughout this video, the entire time I was aiming at a reversal from this area, and that's because if you understand how the banks are trading, then you know when to enter. So even though we got stopped out, we made a number of positions short. So we shorted at the top down to here, and then we got some long trades, some scalping from here up to here. Then we got stopped out of a few more long trades, but now we're really in the money trades. So we've done extremely well for the day, and as you can see, we've got some really good pips in the bank, with a couple of stop outs as well, but far more wins. So wow, really moving up strongly, 27 pips each, moving up to the high. We'll probably get a rejection from that top level. We have a pivot, a moving average in the previous swing high, but we're making some really good money now. So we'll come back tomorrow and see how this trade closes out. It's a win-win position for us, and hopefully we can make a whole lot more. Alright traders, so we're back again the following morning, and sure enough we had a huge push up as expected. This was our buying region right in here. You can remember that we were looking at that level there that we rejected from, and a strong push up. Now actually I was originally planning to sell at the highs here, but as we came up I saw a few things and decided to take out my profit early. So let's go down and basically analyze the trade and see what happened. So initially we went short on a 5-minute chart. Let me just put the deal map in so we can see it. Went short from the top and took out a number of short positions all the way down here, short. Went long here, did very well, and I was a bit aggressive on another long. Sorry, those first longs were taken out. Last one was stopped out, and you can see that I ended here again which is a bit aggressive. However, if I had a 20 pip stop, I would have been absolutely fine, because the low of the day didn't exceed 20 pips. So if I had a 20 pip stop, I would have been a lot better on. Price came down and I got stopped out. However, understanding market structure, you can see that on this candle here, I bought at market. Okay, you can see I bought at market for a number of positions, and you can see that that buy is about 5 pips from the low. Turned out to be the low of the day. So I took out first positions at plus 15, and as we broke up, you can see that I entered here again with a number of positions, which I took out at plus 13, plus 32, and tried a sneaky scalp here, which was stopped out for 7 pips, and price pushed up to 55 pips, and that's where I took out my last position. So basically, we had this bearish candle, and I decided to get out after that because I believed that we were at least going to get some pullback. And the other reason for that was I decided on Friday I want to end the week on a positive note, and sure enough, price rolled over for the rest of the session, and we actually collapsed. Okay, so price collapsed all the way down. So it turned out to be the perfect finish. So a couple of stop outs, but again, because I understood market structure and what the banks were doing, you can see I entered again very, very confidently, and then I added to my position and was able to get this huge big move. So let's look at our history and see how we did. Okay, so there's our plus 55, plus 32, and these are all of the trades we've taken out, and a lot of pips in there, and then we had a couple of stop outs as well. So a few stop outs, but as you can see, they were far exceeded by the amount of pips we made on the day. So awesome trade. I was probably a little bit excited buying in this region, and here, if I had a 20 pip stop, which is a good standard stop for a 15-minute chart, then I actually wouldn't have had any stop outs apart from these two. So it could have been a lot better. So things to learn from, things to take away from next time. And guys, this is how you sell the top of a market, and this is how you buy the bottom of the market. And this can be done understanding how the banks are trading, and this is what we teach in our course. So if you like the video, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and there is a link below that you can connect with us, where we'd love to talk with you and share with you how we approach our trading style and how we can teach you to trade like this also. Okay guys, have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you next video.